In gangbang news.
Oh no, what kind?
The sexy gangbang?
So two ways.
Or the gang member gangbang?
Both?
Sexual kind.
Is it people gangbang or animal gangbang? That's different.
It's people.
Ooh.
Oh.
What? If it was animal?
When you said animal gangbang, he was thinking like monkey as in a primordial ape. I was thinking fucking cows and chickens and shit. I was like,
I know.
I was thinking cat.
oh fuck.
So here's what happened. Gangbang party planner.
What? What do you do for a profession? I'm an event organizer for gangbangs.
Go ahead, continue.
His business card said Scott, gangbang organizer of Scotty GB parties.
GB parties.
It's a GB party, yo.
That's cool.
So, this is what happened. He dropped the business card in the hotel lobby, and then he got arrested for it because the manager found it on the floor, so he called the cops. And
But he dropped it on purpose or it fell out of his
it
wallet?
fell out of his pocket. Yeah, so there was a business card on the floor.
Wait, how did he get us arrested?
Yeah. Okay. So the manager finds it, calls the cops. The manager went online and found that there was a planned party in his hotel that night.
Oh.
So the cops showed up undercover to the party, gave a $20 donation, and then they were told they could do anything to Wendy as long as Wendy was willing.
And then the cops had to investigate and go through the whole process to get the evidence.
So the cops went into the other room while they saw Wendy having sex while fondling other guys' dicks and stuff. It was Wendy's 45th birthday.
Multitasker. 40. Good.
It was Wendy's what?
45th birthday.
Oh my god.
And she wanted to do 45 guys that night.
Damn. That's crazy. The whole time I thought Wendy was entertainment and it's someone else's birthday. But now I realize
She's entertaining herself.
Yeah, it's her birthday. This is what she wanted. That is crazy.
Yep. And the planner was promoting his party via social networking like Twitter. Promoting the party, the gangbang party on Twitter. And I'm not sure why he was arrested, but the number one reason that swing clubs get raided and shut down is because the owners of the club failed to follow the law when they set the club up. They didn't acquire the proper licenses and occupancy permits when setting up the club. This is usually out of fear of being denied.
What is the there are proper ways to set up a gangbang?
Apparently.
I guess because they're not a registered business and they're operating as a business. So they're not going through the legal part.
They gotta pay taxes too, shit.
That's what I'm saying.
So because of that, the tax evasion part.
Yeah, I don't see how swinging is illegal. Is that illegal?
I don't think that's what
No,
they're
it's
saying.
the business that's illegal because they're operating without a business license.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so technically, if they were to create a swingers party planning business, it's perfectly legal.
I don't know if they can operate at the hotel without them knowing because you're not supposed to run a business at a hotel.
Yeah, because it's not like it's prostitution because he's setting
Yeah,
up
it's
the
not.
party. He's not he's not setting a monetary transaction between two people to have sex.
Yeah, and the $20 donation is not mandatory, right? And it's the 45-year-old Wendy's request.
Yeah.
So it's not him pimping Wendy out.
No. Wendy's, it's her 45th birthday.
Because she's not getting paid to have sex.
No, she wants to have 45 dicks.
Damn.
She just made 45 guys really happy though. Think about it. Like, it's a win-win situation for them. Like, I don't gotta fuck her.
She's like a Mother Teresa then.
Yeah, but then the 45 guys that want some.
That's not the same. What? No, so many guys are happy, like she's just blessing the world.
I mean, how hard is it that you had to find somebody to get 45 dicks? Like, is she that ugly?
Maybe it's a lot of work. Who's got time to hit up 45 people?
What if she posts on Facebook, free pussy, everybody invited?
Verse 45 gets admittance.
Family members.
So you need a secret thing because family members.
Yeah.
And plus, she didn't want her name out there either, so obviously that's why her name is Wendy. Maybe she was blindfolded too.
Maybe.
And only those 45 people will know. And you don't know her real name.
I mean, I don't know. It seems like a win-win situation, but it seems like something society would really shun just because they'll be grossed out by it. They don't want that kind of stuff happening near them. You know? Like if you're raising a family and you know that your neighbor is a gangbang organizer and he's gangbangs at his house, I think it's worse than like keeping roosters in your backyard, you know?
Yeah, I think it's way worse than that. You're right.
But to me, it's the same. They're both just annoying to see a bunch of dudes walking in and out as much as like hearing a rooster crow in the morning. To me, it's the same deal.
Personally, I don't see the problem in seeing guys going in and out of the house. I do see a problem if you have kids and you leave the windows open and you do gangbanging in there.
The thing is, if you don't want a place of business next to your house, because you don't want your street crowded with cars all the time and people coming in and out, and like even if they're operating a business, I wouldn't want that either. To me, it's the same thing.
So I was thinking about the days when I taught out of my house, because for that I have people coming in and out.
But you don't have 20 dudes coming in getting fucked at once.
That's weird.
I'm just thinking the volume of people. If you're teaching music, it's one person at a time.
That's true.
That's like you just have a lot of visitors. And people can mistake you for a whore, but it's the same thing.
In child discrimination news,
Child discrimination.
in Houston, a Heights area restaurant that's a fine dining restaurant says no kids after 7 p.m.
That's understandable.
Wait, what? A restaurant?
It's a high. It's
It's like a fine dining place.
That makes sense.
And
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. It is considered child discrimination, I think, but yeah, if I didn't have any kids, I wouldn't.
Kids don't give a fuck about
Can't
the rights.
private establishments refuse to serve certain groups?
But not for the sake of race or gender or whatever.
Because that would be discrimination, right?
What other groups can they discriminate against legally then?
I don't think it's a group. I think it's just a person or types of customers. I don't
Yeah.
think
Other
it's a group.
type, no shoes, no shoes, no service. Oh,
Yeah, no shirt, no shoes.
But I didn't know that children could be like.
Maybe it's because they're loud.
It's hard for me to pick a side on this one because like I can see
From the
like
parents' side.
well I can see from the restaurant perspective like a lot of kids are just obnoxious and you don't want to disturb your patrons, and I can also see as a consumer perspective where if I'm trying to have like a really nice dinner at like a Michelin star restaurant and then there's just babies crying left and right, but then I can also see where if I was a parent and then I wanted to have a nice evening out and I'm taking my kid with me, I'm like, well, I couldn't get a babysitter. I mean, I'm still gonna
That's
pay for his
true.
meal. So I'm like kind of on the fence on all sides. I don't really know how I feel about this one.
My thing is, you ain't gotta go to the restaurant then.
That's true.
Don't bring your child to like a fine dining
Like a
restaurant.
fine dining experience.
Especially if they can't behave themselves.
Yeah, if they behave, I think you let
I
them
don't think that's fair though, because we're approaching it from an angle of single people. Because I know if I have a kid, it's like, fuck, if I'm paying, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. And I would like to have that right.
You're inconveniencing
Everybody else.
But I don't give a fuck
Everybody-
about you guys.
Not allowed.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not, I think that's why they're calling it child discrimination, because you're discriminating against a certain group.
Yeah, I'm calling it that
Oh, I thought the article was.
because that's what it is.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't think that that's fair either. Because now you're inconveniencing the person that's paying money.
Yeah, but that one person paying money is affecting everybody in the restaurant who's paying money.
But what if my child is well behaved and they have table manners?
Right, but they probably made up this rule based off of past experience. I don't think they opened up this restaurant with that rule instated, you know? It's probably like been a problem and then, okay, now we need to solve it somehow. And it's after 7 p.m. You could go there at 5 p.m. for dinner, 6 p.m.
That's true.
It's
Yeah.
7 p.m.
That's true. Yeah.
So, you know, it's a different time and
Late
yeah, I think it's reasonable. You could still have lunch there, you could still have an early dinner there, and most people shouldn't be eating after like
I guess
8
so.
or
There is like a middle there.
Yeah.
And it's a fine dining experience too. It's not just like if you wanted to go eat at a restaurant and with your kids, you can, you know. But this is
This is high end. You're talking about $300 plates.
There are
kind of
certain
thing.
places where you're not allowed to come if you don't have a tie.
Can't
So
go to
if
the
you
restaurant.
guys
You gotta
had
go
kids
earlier.
and that was like your favorite cuisine, you've been planning on it forever, you had the babysitter, last minute she books, and you're like, fuck, you know, I had all this stuff planned and I wanted to do this stuff, and it's like, you're gonna be like, all right, screw it, whatever, I'm not gonna go anymore.
That's usually what happens.
That's usually
when
what
you have
happens.
kids.
There's a lot of different ways to go about it. If I'm a regular at this restaurant and they know, and some shit happens, I'm pretty sure the manager would make
For sure.
like an exception for me. Or if this is a baller ass restaurant and I'm baller, maybe I can book the private room and still eat there with my kid. And I just close the door in case my kid wants to go berserk or whatever. I think
There's a lot of ways around it, I think. Yeah, I think it's just to deter from having I mean, when you are an upscale restaurant, people are going there for the ambiance as well.
Experience.
They're paying for, this is what us peasants don't really understand is when we go into high-end restaurants, we go, why is this food so expensive? Well, you don't really understand that the waiters are getting 80 grand. The cooks there cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. They've been trained by the world's best.
And like what they're doing is they're creating art for you to eat. You're not eating just ingredients and food. This is a art piece. So you're walking into kind of like an art gallery. And it's a different experience from how we view restaurants. It's like going to a concert and there's a fucked up sound system.
You don't want to walk into a nice ass restaurant. It turns out to be Chuck E. Cheese or anything like that.
Yeah, hometown buffet on Thursday nights. For kids eat for like $1. You know what I'm talking about?
In Hunger Games news, In Hunger Games news.
In Hunger Games.
One more time.
In Hunger Games news.
In Hunger Game news.